Milad or Maulid signifies the birth of Prophet Muhammad, the last prophet sent to mankind by God as per Islam. In Arabic, Maulid translates to giving birth. Maulid also refers to the text composed of the stories of the life of Prophet Muhammad recited at his birth anniversary. The Sunni sect of Islam celebrate Maulid on the 12th day of Rabi al-Awwal, the third month of the Islamic calendar. It marks the end of winter and the start of spring. The Shia sect celebrate Maulid on the 17th day of this month. To respect both points of view, the dates between the 12th and the 17th are celebrated as Unity Week in Iran, during which the annual International Islamic Unity Conference is hosted. The Islamic calendar is a lunar calendar consisting of 12 months of either 354 or 355 days. Due to the shortage of days from the solar year, the months rotate throughout the year and do not follow any particular season. The first year began in AD 622, which signified Prophet Muhammad's emigration from Mecca to Medina, called the Hijra. For this reason, the Islamic calendar is called the Hijri calendar and is denoted by the letters AH. Most sects of Islam celebrate this event. However, some sects such as Wahhabism, Devbandism and Ahmadiyya do not, stating that it is not convincingly evidenced in the Quran or the Hadiths. Therefore, it is a recognized public holiday in most countries with a significant Muslim population, with the notable exceptions of Saudi Arabia and Qatar, which are officially Wahhabi. Let's look back at the life of the man regarded as a prophet by 1.6 billion adherents of the Islamic faith. The life of Prophet Muhammad can be traced from biographies called the Siras written in the 8th and 9th century CE. The varied Hadith collections also give glimpses into his life. Prophet Muhammad was born approximately in the year 570 CE. In Arabic, the word Muhammad means praiseworthy. He was born to the Banu Hashim clan, part of the Quraysh tribe, which was one of Mecca's prominent families. His year of birth corresponds to the year of the elephant, when the king of Yemen sent an army with elephants in a failed attempt to destroy Mecca. Prophet Muhammad's father passed away about 6 months after his birth, and soon after he was sent to the desert to live with the Bedouin family. At age 6, he lost his mother, and at age 8, he lost his grandfather. He then came under the wing of his uncle Abu Talib, the new leader of the Banu Hashim clan. In his teens, he traveled to Syria along with his uncle and gained experience in trading. He became a skilled merchant trading between the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. He was nicknamed Al-Amin due to his trustful and truthful nature. At age 25, he met and married Khadija bint Khuwailid, a 40-year-old widow, and led a happy married life. For several weeks every year, the Prophet would go and pray in a cave named Hira on Mount Jabal al-Nur. In 610 CE, at the age of 40, the angel Gabriel appeared to him and commanded him to recite verses which would later become part of the Quran, the holy book of Islam. After the experience, the Prophet was perplexed and related the incident to his wife. She reassured him and said that these were truly the words of God. After a 3-year pause known as the Fatra, during which he further gave himself to prayers, the revelations resumed. The revelations, believed by the Muslims as the words of God, came to him in the form of visions over the next 22 years of his life. These revelations were compiled after his death and completed the Quran. The first to believe him to be the Prophet was his wife Khadija, followed by his cousin Ali ibn Abi Talib, close friend and later father-in-law Abu Bakr, and adopted son Zayed. The Prophet began to preach in 613 CE in Mecca and started to attract a following. However, his teachings were met with opposition by the Meccans due to his message condemning idol worship and polytheism, the prevalent religious ideologies in the Arabian Peninsula at the time. This became a threat to the local tribes, including his own Quraysh tribe, who ran the pilgrimages to Mecca. The Prophet and his followers were persecuted. Sumayyah bint Khabab, a slave of a prominent Meccan leader, is remembered as being the first martyr to the Islamic cause for refusing to denounce her faith. Due to the hostile conditions in Mecca, in 615 CE, the Prophet along with his followers migrated to Ethiopia under the protection of the Christian Ethiopian king Ashama ibn Abjar. 2 years later, they returned to Mecca under the protection of the Prophet's birth clan, the Banu Hashim. This led to the boycott of the Banu Hashim clan by the other Meccan clans. The boycott lasted for 3 years without much success. During this period, the Prophet continued to preach the words of God and garnered more followers. The year 619 is termed as the year of great sorrow and saw the death of both the Prophet's wife Khadija and his uncle Abu Talib. With the death of Abu Talib, the leadership of the Banu Hashim clan came under Abu Labab, who withdrew the clan's protection over the Muslims. The Prophet left for Taif and returned to Mecca under the protection of the Banu Nawfal tribe. After coming to know about a plot to assassinate the Prophet, the Muslims, looking for a safe home, left for Medina, then called Yathrib, some 450 kilometers north of Mecca. The migration made in 622 CE is known as the Hijra, and the people who made the migration are known as the Mujahirin. The Prophet brought peace to the various tribes of Medina and drafted the Constitution of Medina, which highlighted the rights of all the citizens. This brought all the people under a single unified law and sparked the beginning of the Ummah, or the concept of one community. Many Medians supported the Prophet and converted to Islam. They came to be known as the Ansars. The Prophet also instituted the brotherhood of the Mujahirin, the emigrants, and the Ansars, the supporters. Post the Hijra, the Meccans seized the properties of the emigrants. In March 624, the Prophet led 300 Muslims against the Meccans in the Battle of Badr. Though outnumbered 3-1, the Muslims were victorious. This was a decisive battle and reaffirmed their faith, and many more people flocked behind the Prophet and his cause. Over the next year, peaceful expeditions were carried out in nearby territories, and many tribes allied with the Muslims, growing their sphere of influence. In March 625, a Meccan force of 3,000 men under the command of Abu Sufyan defeated the Muslims in the Battle of Uhud. Though the Muslims had the upper hand through the beginning of the battle, a strategic error was made by the Muslim archers who failed to follow the Prophet's command and left their force unattended. The advantage of the high ground was lost by the Muslims and gained by the Meccans, which turned the tide of the battle. The battle was a heavy blow to the Muslims and many lost their lives that day. The Prophet also sustained injuries during this battle. In March 627 CE, Abu Sufyan amassed a massive army of 10,000 men and laid siege to Medina. The Muslim army only had 3,000 men. They, however, dug a series of defensive trenches around the city. The battle, known as the Battle of the Trench, found Abu Sufyan's army tactically outwitted to fight these fortifications. After 2 weeks of fighting, the Meccans resigned and returned home. They were weakened both in spirit and economically, with their trade routes with Syria completely disrupted. Post this period, negotiations were carried out between the Muslims and the Meccans, and the Truce of Hudaybiyah was struck. The 10-year treaty centered on the end of hostilities and allowing safe passage for the Muslims on their annual pilgrimage, the Hajj, to Kaaba, the holiest part of Mecca. The truce, however, only lasted for a period of 2 years, during which a number of other tribes also joined the Prophet and allied with Medina. In 629 CE, one of the allied tribes of Mecca broke the truce by attacking an allied tribe of Medina. The Prophet gave Mecca 3 options: pay blood money for the slain, disavow the alliance with the perpetrators, or call off the truce. The Meccans chose the third option to their own demise. The Prophet led an army of 10,000 Muslims and attacked Mecca from 4 fronts. The Meccans gave in without much of a fight, and the Prophet showed mercy to all those who laid down their arms, including Abu Sufyan, the leader of the Quraysh tribe and the staunchest opponent of the Muslims. This was a major victory, and most of the Meccans accepted Islam. This was followed by the Battle of Hunayn and Mu'tah, and most of the eastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula and the area surrounding the Gulf of Oman was soon under Muslim control. Within 120 years from the Prophet's death, the Rushidan and Umayyad Caliphate expanded the Islamic influence, bringing all of Spain, Portugal, North Africa, and Western Asia up to Pakistan under their control. In 632 CE, the Prophet completed his first Hajj pilgrimage, which is now a holy duty for all Muslims around the world. After completing the pilgrimage, he gave a sermon famously called the Farewell Sermon atop Mount Arafat near Mecca. He advised his fellow men to let go of the pre-Islamic customs, to let go of the hatred and the feuds, and raise the standards of women in society, amongst other things. A few months after this event, he fell ill and passed away on the 8th of June 632 CE. Islam brought in a much-needed change in the Middle East, with many reforms in the existing dismal conditions pertaining to slavery, the rights of women and children, inequitable distribution of wealth, amongst others. The Prophet's legacy is reflected with the spread of Islam, which has grown to become the second most followed religion in the world. Mawlid is celebrated by decorating the streets with colored lights, carrying out processions waving the green flags of Islam, distributing sweets to friends and family, and offering charity and distributing food to the needy. People gather together in mosques and listen to the verses of the Quran and the life of the Prophet. In the Hazrat Bal Shrine, the holiest shrine of Kashmir, a relic of Prophet Muhammad is displayed after the morning prayers. Islam has greatly shaped the world we live in today. Prophet Muhammad, through the words of the Quran, advocated peace and brotherhood amongst all the people on earth. We hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel to watch more videos in this series.